passed the resolution in the subcommittee of oversight and to get that subpoena, and Chairman Comer graciously agreed to follow through with it. Yeah, I would hope that we could get to the bottom of it. I want to know the money trail. I want to know who employed. Was Epstein a foreign agent? Who are his benefactors? I want to know the way that they access these children. I want to know names of the people that were involved. I don't care about people who flew on his dadgum plane. President Trump has stated multiple times he flew on his plane. As a matter of fact, he banned that dirtbag from Mar-a-Lago over 15 years ago. I'm tired of hearing people trying to pin Trump to it. Trump has been out front saying that he knew the guy, and he banned him from Mar-a-Lago. They knew each other. They ran in the same circles. It's just like me. I know a lot of dirtbags myself, but I would hope that we could follow the money trail and just see where it all leads. And hopefully in all this, and I warn people, we need to protect the name of the innocent. And they were children at the time that were raped, over 1,000 apparently. Yeah. And I've been told we could bring down governments and places all over the world. Well, if they're built on this, dadgummit, we ought to bring them down.
Yeah, who's going to agree with that? I just saw a meme. And it was the guy from The Office pointing at the sign and then pointing at the other sign. And it said, if revealing the Epstein list would take down governments or be a national security concern, then we're governed by criminals. This man is on point. Let's let it finish before I highlight the important elements of what was just said.
Because they are, to me, they're doing business with the devil. And I'm sure Mr. Epstein's dealing with him right now.
So one of the big questions is, how much does Ghislaine Maxwell know? Constitutional law professor Alan Dershowitz believes that she holds the keys to the kingdom. Listen to what he said.
She is the Rosetta Stone. She knows everything. She arranged every single...
She knows everything. The Rosetta Stone stood trial. Over 1,000 children abused, and we're being led to believe only by Jeffrey Epstein. The point to take away from that is there's a money trail. Was he intelligence? We haven't yet gotten that information, and this sure as hell is not going away. What I do like at this point in time is it's not incriminating Trump at all. Period. Full stop. This is not spin. You can take it as spin if you want to. This is not incriminating Trump. Trump's full relations with Epstein have been laid bare for decades. And anybody thinking, and I know what people argue, I can steelman it myself. No, the reason why they didn't disclose anything on Trump being intimately and nefariously involved is it would have taken down the entire cabal. Horse crap, right? Horse crap. Of all the people who've dealt with Epstein, not very many of them have banned Epstein from his private golf club, which is what Trump did. What I love is it's highlighting the godforsaken hypocrites and scoundrels within the government. The amount of Democrats now tweeting about the Epstein file, certainly more than it was the year before, certainly was more than the year before that. In fact, you'd have to go back to the last time any Democrat tweeted about it, Nancy Pelosi, Eric Swalwell. The last time they tweeted about it, when do you think it was? You'll know the answer if you follow me on Twitter, or you're a member of our community, or you have half a brain. The last time they tweeted about Epstein, because they care so much about it, was 2019, when Alex Acosta was appointed to Trump's administration, and it was revealed that Alex Acosta was the dude who was involved in the sweetheart deal from 2007, 2008, 2009. It's an amazing thing. Look at this. I mean, I have to double check, triple check, because I don't want to make any wrong accusations. It's very difficult to go through. You can put in Epstein, someone's account, and you'll see it for yourselves. Are we noticing a trend? Writes the Viva Fry. At the Viva Fry. Many Democrats now tweeting about Epstein have only done it now. And in 2019 with the Acosta debacle. They only did it about once when they didn't tweet about it once. When Biden was in office, a bunch of godforsaken scoundrels who couldn't care less except to use it for political profit. Hey, Grok, and I asked ChatGPT and I went through their Twitter feeds. How many times has Nancy Pelosi tweeted about Epstein? Nancy Pelosi has tweeted about Epstein 3 times based on available information. 2 of these posts were in July 2025, where she called for the release of the Epstein files, and 1 was in July 2019, addressing Acosta. Hey, whatever your name is, Grok, whatever. How many times has Swalwell tweeted about Epstein? Based on posts on X, Eric Swalwell has tweeted about Jeffrey Epstein 19 times in total. 18 of these were made in 2025 during Trump's presidency, with most occurring yada, yada, yada. Only one post was made in 2019, none posted during Biden's presidency. Who else do we deal for here? Adam Schiff for Brains makes Schiff face. Based on available information, Schiff has tweeted about Jeffrey Epstein 4 times. July 2025. God-forsaken hypocrites, couldn't care less about anything, didn't tweet once when Joe Biden, Sniffy McPurface, was in office for 4 years. In office physically, but not cognitively. They don't care. They might think that they're never going to release the files for whatever the reason. Or they might think that in releasing the files, it will take down Trump. And it won't unless they screw this up or continue exacerbating a problem where people are coming to the conclusion that it must have incriminating information on one Donald John Trump. You know that the propagandists are out in full force. Based on who is out in full force? I want to bring out one here in particular. Pekka Kalliomieni. Where are we here? Pekka Kalliomieni says, oh no, this was in a different one. This wasn't his tweet on Trump being involved in the file. So I'll save that one for later. Eric Swalwell, the man who literally had relations, I don't know what type of relations they were, with a spy. Rep Swalwell says they love it. They love it because they get to use it for political fodder. They couldn't care less about the actual victims, and they couldn't care less about actual justice because they had the knobs of power for 4 years and did nothing, said nothing, saw nothing, heard nothing. Like the 3 little monkeys there, covering their eyes, covering their ears, covering their mouths. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. They are evil. Eric Swalwell. So we just found out the White House buried the Epstein files because it had 2 things in it. Donald Trump's name and CP, child pornography. So no one thinks I'm self-censoring for the sake of censoring. This is why we want the files. You effing idiot, Swalwell. You had Biden in power, a man who could have been manipulated to reveal anything. 4 years you didn't say diddly squat because you are a Chinese spy banging traitor. To see who did what. I don't care what party you're in. We follow the facts without fear of favor. We just don't say anything when we're in power to do something. And we only bitch and moan like a bunch of school children when we're not in power and we get to use the tragedy for our own political profit. And then you get to the Wall Street Journal. Exclusive. The Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. I can't pretend this information is mine or this theory is mine because it's damn smart. If you watch Bourbon with Barnes over at our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community, one of the many perks offered to our amazing above average community, Barnes has an operating theory that the deep state has somehow successfully convinced Trump or members within the administration who are either gullible or not necessarily the most trustworthy / loyal, have convinced Trump that his name is in the files either in an incriminating way as a result of fabricated evidence, which would explain Trump's previous truth posts about the hoax of the Jeffrey Epstein file, or that his name is in there in a way that is either incriminating, though he knows he's innocent, because I presume, assume, and have concluded that Trump is not in there in any incriminating way because it would have come out already, or they've manufactured fabricated evidence in that file now, such that if he releases it, it will incriminate him, even though it's fake, fabricated hoax material. Someone's convinced Trump of that. And now we have the Wall Street Journal seemingly supporting that theory. And I don't trust the Wall Street Journal any further than I can throw their printing presses. But this is what they're doing with it one way or the other. Either it's accurate and someone has in fact convinced Trump that his name is among the many, and that's why he has to kill the story now, tell people to stop talking about it as if that's going to work. And he might legitimately fear that there's manufactured evidence in there, like the body letter, the body, BAWDY letter that has now been revealed. There's more of that, Mr. Trump. We manufactured evidence, and if you reveal those files, fabricated evidence falsely incriminating you, but people are going to believe it will be exposed, and it will take you down. Kill the story right now. It's very possible that that's true. Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among the many names in the Epstein file. Bondi also told the president at the meeting that Justice decided to not release more Jeffrey Epstein documents because of the presence of CP, and they need to protect victims. Well, we all heard that part loud and clear. Don't you just love it, though? The propagandists out there now get to say, oh my goodness. They get to use the phrase Donald John Trump and CP in the same sentence. And I'm not saying CP here to self-censor. I'm saying CP here because they want those words to be appearing together in Google searches because they are godforsaken scoundrels. When Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a truckload of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times. Big effing deal. We know that Melania was in the black book along with Alec Baldwin and others. Big effing deal. We know his name had better come up in the files because he banned Jeffrey Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club. So it better come up in the files. More suspicious than his name appearing in the files in whatever capacity they don't specify they appear. It would be weirder if it didn't appear in the files. In May, Bondi and her deputy informed the president in a meeting at the White House that his name was in the Epstein files, the official said. Many other high-profile figures were also named, Trump was told. Being mentioned in the records isn't a sign of wrongdoing. No SHIT Sherlock. The official said it was routine briefing that covered a number of topics. They told the president at the meeting that the files contained what officials felt was unverified hearsay about many people, including Trump, who had socialized with Epstein in the past, some of the officials said. Oh yeah, Geraldo Rivera. What if releasing the Epstein files showed disgusting misogyny of Donald John Trump in the 1990s and 2000s? Oh my goodness, Geraldo. Stick to opening empty vaults. They also told Trump that senior Justice Department officials didn't plan to release any more documents related to the investigation of the convicted sex offender because the material contains CP, victims' personal information, etc. We all know this part. The meeting set the stage for a high-profile review to come to an end. Bondi had said in February that Epstein's client list was sitting on her desk for review. Trump said last week in response to a journalist's question that Bondi told him his name was in, hadn't told him his name was in the files. Another fake news story by the Wall Street Journal, and I think we all pretty much agree with that. One of Maxwell's lawyers, David Oscar Marcus, confirmed the discussions and said, "We are grateful to the president for his commitment to uncovering the truth in this case. Maxwell has been seeking to have her conviction overturned, contending she didn't receive a fair trial." This is in respect to Maxwell potentially talking, and for whatever the reason, making it known that Maxwell might potentially talk. FBI Director Kash Patel has privately told other government officials that Trump's name appeared in the files, according to people close to the administration. No shizzle Sherlock. Patel declined to answer an inquiry from the Journal about the Epstein case, but said in a statement that the memo, yada, 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 they wouldn't release it. It was consistent with the thorough review conducted by the FBI and DOJ. We don't need to go into the rest of that. So now they get to run with the nonsense that Trump was told his name is in the Epstein files, along with pretty much everybody else in government, in entertainment. They knew each other. Trump. A lot of people take that statement that Trump said, we're good friends. He has a taste for women a little bit younger than me. People take that to be some sort of smashing endorsement of Epstein, not realizing that it was more likely than not Trump trying to out him as the pedo perv that he was. But now you got these hypocrites, scoundrels pretending to care, didn't say boo for the last 4.5 years, and conveniently and predictably. By the way, you can go look at this. Just find anybody who's now clamoring for this. They will have been silent during the 4 years of Biden's presidency. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Good afternoon, everybody. How goes the battle? Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida Rumbler. We are streaming across Rumble,